Alright, real quick, guys, and I apologize that there's chatter in the background because my daughter's watching TV. But I am gonna recap what I did this morning. This is kind of these videos more so for me to work through my process. But today's the third, and so what I do in the morning is I get up. Usually by 5:30, I'm at the market and I'm looking at the top three pre-market stocks. And this morning, the top three pre-market stocks was IMPX, CEI, and LLEX. And so what I do is just like I do when I back trade, I break it down on three different time frames and then pre-market. So four different charts really was what I'm looking at. Okay, so IMPX. So here was my game plan. I looked at the daily, and the day says stock is breaking out of lows on the daily. It ran yesterday and looks to have continuation. Currently, it has a pre-market support at 42 cents, but the optimal place to buy is today is between 39 and 38. With 40 being the whole number, I wouldn't mind getting it there. Okay, that's what I said. If it opens and falls to that level, I'm a buyer. If not, we will let the first 15 minutes play out and draw new support and resistance lines if necessary. There's a larger support at the 36 area on the 15-minute chart. So this is like kind of my game plan. This is where I'm looking at it. And so, of course, I had the hourly drawn out, and this is where I found that support. Actually, you see it on the 15. See on the 15. So I was talking about that 36 area. There's support there as well. Okay, so that was my game plan for IMPX. The next one I looked at is LLEX. So daily, I said game plan. The daily chart is the shits, and it is diluted. However, the stock has been perking in the last week. Okay, you can go, Camille. Sorry about that. Parking in the last week. It has good pre-market volume. If it pulls back to the 45 area, I'm a buyer because it has great support on the 15-minute time frame. If it spikes at the open, then I will let the first 15 minutes play out and draw new lines of support and make a decision from there. Okay, so that was my thought process there. So we can look. Here's the hourly. Look at that 44 area. When we go to the 15, it's even more pronounced here. Look at that, very clear pivot, 46. So that's why I really liked LLEX at the 46 area. Okay, all right, and then CEI. Okay, game plan. The daily is shitty, but the stock has volume and is perking. There's support on the hourly between $3 and 240ish, which is really that's too big. I don't know, which means this is a choppy stock. Okay, if the stock opens and pulls back to 235ish, I'm a buyer. If not, I will watch and draw new lines of support and make a decision from there. Okay, and I didn't even put the 15-minute chart because when you go to the 15-minute, everything's down here, and it was stop. It was jumping up so high that you couldn't even see this information. So you had to just base it off of the daily. Okay, but that 290, that 196 area, really, I would have loved it to just crash to here and buy it there. Okay, that was the game plan. Now that we know the game plan, let's go ahead and let me pull up stocks to trade. I forgot that I have to hit the escape button. Oops, escape. All right, now I'm gonna go to stocks to trade, and I'm gonna show you what I ended up doing. So we'll talk about three. We'll start with IMPX. That was the first one. IMPX. Okay. Place, please. All right. So here's what happens with IMPX. First and foremost, I gotta inform you that right at the market open, my computer crashed. I hate when that kind of stuff happens, but it does happen. Okay, so like the first 10 minutes, I can't even do anything, even if I wanted to, because I'm trying to get everything reloaded. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to end up benefiting me. Okay, so here's what happens. Here's this one. I said I wanted it at 40, right? It came back down here to 46. Okay, um, and it bounced. Okay, and it ran up to 65. Very nice move, right? And then it just started pulling back all morning. Now, once I got back in around about here, around 650ish, I was like back locked and loaded. I'm looking and I'm like, okay, this is a good place to buy, but I don't like buying dips within if it's less than 10% of the VWAP. Okay, so VWAP was right here at 54. This is at 50. Really, you need to go here and more. So I usually, if it pulls back right just under VWAP, I wanted to pull 10% or more underneath VWAP because then I know I got a 10% move back to VWAP, right? So anyhow, um, this comes here and I just say, no, I'll wait. Then I told myself, okay, if it hits 46, because I had this pre-market support drawn, if it hits this number here, I'll be a buyer. Okay. Well, I literally blinked and it did it and it came right back. Now, why did I say 46? Because look at where VWAP is when I was making this decision. VWAP was right here at 54. If it perked down here, if it dipped down here to 45, okay, 4% from if it's at 54, 10% of that is basically 5 cents. Well, coming down to 46, I got basically roughly a 20% gain if I hold that long. But knowing me, I'm only going to learn to hold for 10%, right? So I missed it. Okay, game's over in that regard. So the next thing I do is I say, okay, well, I see what's going on. If it touches 46 again, I don't want it because I don't know if it's going to be as strong. It's usually stronger when it first hits something, especially when it does a vertical drop and then it pulls back up. Okay, so the next best place is where I have all of this support driven down here from drawn from pre-market, right? Which was at the 42 area. But the best line I had down here was, this is when I said 39 and 38. This is where I got that from on my daily breakdown, right? And so I put an order in at 41.8 when it was over here. I just said, if this thing, who knows what'll happen, but it was at 45. There was no reason for me to believe it, but I just said, if it comes to 41.8, which I really should have just did 41 in general, I'll be a buyer because that's exactly what my game plan was in the pre-market. Okay, this is why I get up early and I prepare myself. Because look, I say, currently has pre-market support at 42. 42 would have worked, but the optimal place to buy is between 39 and 38. With 40 being a whole number, I wouldn't mind getting it there, right? And I put it in at 41 because I was looking. Sometimes these things just move fast and you want to get filled. Okay, I could have put 40, but I might not have got filled. So I put 41 in order to get filled. And lo and behold, look what it does. Boom, it hits my number. Okay, you see I even put this morning, I set targets, not targets, but price alerts. So look, I had a price alert for IMPX. I set that at 5, maybe 30 this morning at 41. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing is I'm working my plan. I'm not, just doing stuff to do, right? It would have been great to get it here, but my optimal place to buy, I got it there. And generally speaking, when your optimal place to buy is low, you're going to always end up doing well on the trade. Okay. So anyway, it moved to 50. I sold it at 46. I actually got executed at 47 because it gapped up. And so the question is, why did I sell at 46? Okay. So let me just give you a quick answer. And I guess maybe I can use my calculator so you can actually see it on the screen to understand the why behind that. Okay, calculator, right there. Okay, calculator. All right, so I bought at 0.418. Okay. So basically, what I need to know is, in order for me to make 10%, I just need to know, I basically already know that 0.418, 10% of that is 4 cents, okay? So you can go actually just 0.041 is really what that is. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to add 0.041. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do that again, clear. I must have hit it. So let me do it this way. 0.418 plus 0.041, enter. Oh man, I apologize, y'all. Let me get this, do this wrong. Okay. 0.418 plus 0.041 equals, there it is. Let me just hit enter. Right there, 0.459. Okay, so the answer is 4.5. So that's what I need for 10% of a win. Okay, I got executed at 0.46. Like 0.46 something, 468 or something like that. So I made a little bit more. Actually, I made 11% on the trade. Okay, so let me put this down. Okay, so that's how I knew what I needed. So once it got here, I was good. Normally, most people would want to wait and see if this is going to retest VWAP. Had I held to 53 when it retested VWAP, that would have been great because that probably would have been about 28%. Let me see. 4.8. So we need 441. So that would have been 45, 49. Actually, that would have been a 30% win. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but I'll take 10%. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with 10%, and I'm not pressing myself. I'm not. I just get in and get out. I make my trades happen. Okay, so that was that one. Now the other one we wanted to talk about was LLEX. Trying to be fast. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Camille, can you stop hitting that cup, please? Okay. LLEX, enter. Okay. What was the game plan? Let's go back. I said LLEX. The daily chart is just dilated. What do I want to buy? Okay. If it pulls back to the 45 area, I'm a buyer. Okay, so that's where I just need to know where I want to buy. All right, here we go. Pre-market. I have this drawn in from pre-market, right? This is at 50. I have another line drawn in down here at 40. What is that? No, not yet, son. Because I said no. That's why. Okay, down here at the 42 area. Okay, so it pulls back in here down to, here's the 45 area, which I wanted right here. Okay, it pulls down and drops as low as 42, and it's been working its way back ever since. Okay, and so I haven't. This one maybe didn't do. Let me see, 45. It's just basically you're basically at break even right now. And you're hoping that it'll get up. This trade would have took a lot longer. I did have a support area drawn at 50. Why 50? It's a whole number, right? And it was pre-market support. The best opportunity would have been to get it here. Yeah, so I wasn't crazy. Here we go. It pulled right here in the 46. This would have been the first opportunity to get it at that area. It pulls down in the 46 and it bounces all the way up to, what's the high here? This looks like the high. Okay, 54 is the high there, and 54 is the high there. Okay, all right, so let me see on this calculator. I said 46, so let's go ahead and clear it all out. If I wanted to get it at 0.46, all right, so 0.46, 0.46. Okay. All right. 10% of that, or 10% of that is 0.04. So let's see if it would have been a winner had I taken it. Plus 0.046. That's what it is. Okay. Enter. Okay. So 50. We would have needed 50, right? And did it do it? We know it did because it hit 54. Okay. So again, working a plan, and the most important part is the first time it hits that number is when it really kind of perks. When it comes back for it a second time, you don't know what it's going to do. Okay, so this is why this is kind of dissipated. But you look, and it's interesting that I already have lines drawn here down at this 41 area. It gets down here. What's up, son? What? Yes. What would you like to watch, son? Okay. I'll put it on in a second. I'll put it on in a second. All right, let me finish making this video. And thank you for being patient and saying excuse me. I'll deal with that in a second. Anyway, we see when it first touches this number down here, we see this spike again. Okay, so the key is understanding where you want to buy, and then of course being able to put your order in, and it's that first time it hits the number, man, is when you're going to get the return. And then after that, you just gotta pay sharp. Let me go ahead and get to the last one. Try to make this video short. CEI. Okay. Place. All right. CEI. Let me go show you what I said pre-market. All right, CEI. Yeah, right here. Okay. Game plan daily is shitty, but the stock has volume and is parking there. Support on the hourly between 2-3. This is too high. If the stock opens and pulls back to 235ish, I'm a buyer. If not, I will watch and draw new lines. Okay, so remember I told you my computer jammed on me. So right at the open, it goes from, it was already at the 235 area. So that's not really a pull. It started to pull back pre-market. Okay. I wanted it to stay up here and then come down and touch this. It did not. So it almost basically by default threw itself off. So let's look. Where's the next areas that I have drawn? This is all drawn this morning for pre-market. Right here at the 215 area, right? And so look, you see I put a little reminder for that price action. Okay, but I only wanted to remind me here because I wanted it at 2. So I just wanted to be alerted, like, hey, this thing is dropping. Because if it's here, right, VWAP is far enough to where you can get 10%. So that it does meet that qualification for me. But I know that when stocks get down to the whole number, buyers show up. Okay, and so this thing just dipped as low as, what is this, 208 or 207. I would have needed it to go all the way down to 2, even crack 2, go to like 195ish, buy it there for it to run to these areas where it already has shown some buying action, right, to the 220s, and then you get your 10%, because really all you need is 20 cents of run to get 10%. So essentially, this thing, we see it's still sitting in that 215 area. You would, even if I bought it there, the highest move would have been up to 227. So what is that? 12 cents when you need 20, essentially. So you can cut it. Your break even at this point. You really want to see it get back up to this VWAP, but it hasn't made the move. So thankfully, because the computer froze, I missed one play because I was not completely ready when it finally loaded back up. I missed LLX, but I waited patiently, and IMPX went all the way down to the number that I needed, and it still worked out. So what's interesting is with all the craziness this morning, I was still well within my plan for any stock that I would have traded, and it worked out. Okay. So anyhow, this is why I prepare the way I do. This is why I back trade in the same format that I prepare, because everything is just practice now. Everything is just seamless. It just works to my advantage. Okay. So anyhow, with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and let this one render and move on with today. You guys enjoy.